What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing you Ravens content every single day. If you want to see that daily Ravens content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and turn the notification bell on if you want to get notified every single time I upload a brand new video. Before I get into this video, I just want to kind of give an update. So obviously, this is the last week before the NFL season starts. So if you didn't know how the season kind of thing is going to go, whenever it's game day, we will stream before and after each of those games. This first weekend, I do not know the exact plan on what we are going to do. Hopefully, we might live stream on maybe Saturday. I doubt we'll live stream on Sunday because there's other games going on. I'm going to be watching those games, but maybe we'll stream. I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you updated on Twitter as well as on just YouTube posts and things like that. So if you want to, kind of have information like that, just absolutely let me know. And I will let all of you know whenever I have kind of details and stuff, as well as if you have any questions or something like that you want me to make a video on that you don't want to wait until, the pregame stream to ask me, comment it down below. There's a chance I like it and I may make a full video on it. So if there's something you want to know, ask me. I can absolutely let you guys know. But for this video, what I'm going to be talking about is the Ravens running back group, because obviously the J.K. Dobbins injury has affected the Ravens. So the Ravens running backs right now, Gus Edwards, Tyson Williams, and Justice Hill, I'm going to be analyzing how exactly they're going to be used. So whether you're a fantasy football player or you're a Ravens fan looking at, hey, I want to know how they're going to be played and things like that, this is where I'm going to be talking about it. So the first thing I'm going to say, I don't know 100% whatsoever. These are just based on predictions. I do have, evidence to back up, what I think. But if you disagree, if you think, hey, I think the carries are actually going to be split, or I think that maybe this guy gets more carries than this guy, let me know. I'm very curious to see what all of you think. But those are the only players I'm going to be talking about. I'm not really going to be talking about like predictions for how much Lamar will be carrying the football, because that is a complete wild card. That is a game by game, script by script type of thing. But in terms of how often the running backs get used, those are pretty consistent from week to week, unless a player gets injured or, something like that. But the first thing that I want to look at is I want to look at last year and how the Ravens used those running backs, and then we can kind of compare who the players are replacing. So last year, the average, attempts per game for all of the Ravens rushers, Lamar led the team with 10.6. Then it was Gus Edwards with 9, J.K. Dobbins with 8.9, and Mark Ingram with 6.5. Justice Hill also got one carry per game. That was typically very late, wasn't really getting carries, when it really mattered. And Mark Ingram's carries drastically shifted throughout the year. At the beginning, he was leading the team. At the end of the year, he was definitely not leading the team in amount of rushes. So, towards the end of the year, it was pretty split between Gus and JK, and it was a very even backfield. And I'm going to say right now, I don't think that's really going to be the case with Gus and Tyson. I like Tyson Williams. However, I do think Gus Edwards will be taking over, because it seemed like the Ravens really wanted to use JK a little bit more and have him be like the clear number one while still having a running back by committee. He wasn't going to be a workhorse like an Ezekiel Elliott or a Christian McCaffrey or a Derrick Henry, where you never see, Christian McCaffrey's backup was Mike Davis, Ezekiel Elliott, Pollard, and Derrick Henry. Can't even remember Derrick Henry's backup name. I think they drafted someone last year, but you never see those guys. This will be much more similar to what the Ravens do, where they show a lot of players. And I think a better example for what I think the Ravens will do will be actually 2019, because that was kind of there was less players that the Ravens really had in terms of rushing the football. And it was still a, Greg Roman-led offense. So it wasn't something, I don't want to go before that, because then it's just like kind of random. Lamar got there later and it really screws with the schedule. But 2019, Mark Ingram led the team with 13.5 attempts per game. Then it was Lamar with 11.7. That's, 10, 11 carries is kind of standard for Lamar. And then it was Gus Edwards at 8.3, and then Justice Hill at 3.6. This is really what I'm looking at as something that I can see is like, yeah, this is what they'll do. And I see a lot of people say, like, we should give Gus like 20 carries a game. The issue is that's a lot. Like, if the Ravens give Gus 20 carries a game, they're still going to be rushing Lamar 10 times a game. They're still going to give other players carries. The Ravens will be rushing the ball so much, like, it would be ridiculous. But I think 14 carries per game is something to look at for Gus Edwards and see, like, you know what? That's relatively realistic. He's been very consistent. He doesn't get hurt. And he's able to get the job done. He can catch the football. He can run it up the middle. He can run it outside. The Ravens can absolutely utilize that. And then you look at Tyson Williams. Gus Edwards still does get tired. he'll need to come out for certain drives, and Tyson Williams could come in. He showed in preseason that he could catch the ball, and we'll see how he's able to run the football against, number one defense, but at the same time, he'll have a number one offensive line. So we'll be able to see like how that is able to be impacted. But looking at like a 14, 15 to 8 carries a game is what I think is pretty realistic looking at what the Ravens are going to be doing. And then Justice Hill, I think he will actually get carries. I think he'll probably get a couple carries a game just because we don't know, especially at the beginning of the year, how good Tyson Williams is going to be. I think they will at the beginning of the year be using Justice Hill a fair bit just to see whether or not he can really do it. And if he does show it, then I think he and Tyson will split carries as the number 2. But I don't think Tyson will ever be splitting carries with Gus unless he really shows, hey, he deserves to be there. He's just at Gus's level. But right now, I think it's kind of going to be clear. So I think Gus Edwards, if you're looking at it fantasy football wise, looking at the Ravens offense, look at it like Gus Edwards is running back 1, which I think is what a lot of Ravens fans are doing. But that doesn't mean Tyson Williams is useless. Tyson Williams is a good downhill runner. I think he could be the goal line back and things like that. Tyson Williams could very well lead the team in rushing touchdowns, similar to how it seems like Gus Edwards is like this top tier, running back that can go out and, at the goal line and pound it in. But like, it seemed like J.K. Dobbins would always come in. I think Tyson Williams could absolutely be the goal line back, get a fair amount of touchdowns. So fantasy wise, if you're in like a really deep league and you need somebody, Tyson Williams is somebody that you can look at. I wouldn't draft Justice Hill. I know a lot of people, when they saw J.K. got hurt, they went out and they grabbed Justice Hill and things like that. I love Justice Hill, great special teams player, but as a running back, as a pass catcher, he's not amazing enough to look at and say, wow, the Ravens really need to use this guy. They haven't used him in years past. Don't think they'll really be using him, but when we look at how many carries everybody's going to be getting, then we also have to think about Lamar, just because Lamar will be taking 10 plus carries a game because that's just what he does. Now, whether or not they're designed runs or whether or not they're, just scrambles is besides the point. He's going to be rushing the football a lot. So I don't want any player to be taking 20 carries a game because that just means the Ravens are running the football 40 times a game, 40, 50 times a game. That's a lot. All right. Sorry for the cut right there. I really had to sneeze. I've tried to come back into this video 6 times now. Has not worked once. I keep sneezing. Hopefully I'm able to finish this video and get it out to all of you. But overall, when you're looking at this 2021 Ravens offense, look at 2019, which is a great year to look at for the Ravens. That was the MVP year, 12 consecutive wins. Unfortunately, Mark Ingram got hurt in the playoff game, and then they stopped running the football, but that was a great offense. That was an absolutely great offense. Just all you got to do is flip out Mark Ingram for Gus Edwards, flip out Gus Edwards for Tyson Williams, and keep Justice Hill the same. I think Lamar Jackson will probably be number 2 in carries. I think Gus will out-carry Lamar, but Lamar will definitely be number 2. Tyson Williams will get a fair amount. But there's a chance at the beginning of the year, Tyson and Justice Hill are splitting carries. But let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. I actually think Tyson and Gus Edwards will have the same amount of carries. That's completely okay. This is a prediction. This isn't a statement based on anything the Ravens have said. This is just looking at past years under Greg Roman, how he's used the different schemes and how the Ravens like to utilize their young running backs. But thank you, everybody, for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content. I will see all of you again tomorrow.